Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zack, and for the last 7 days, I've been driving the 2024 Toyota GR Corolla Circuit Edition. Up front is a 1.6-liter 3-cylinder turbocharged engine, and down below is a 6-speed manual transmission. Now, I am super excited to be making this video because I have adored my time here with the GR Corolla Circuit Edition. This is now the third GR Corolla that I've driven here on the channel. However, it's the first time I've driven the Circuit, and the Circuit gets a carbon fiber roof, better air ducting, some suede interior pieces, and for 2024, they are now offering this blue flame paint color, which I have loved. And so I'm excited to share all of the GR Corolla Circuit Edition's glory with you today. But if you would like to submit your own vehicle, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. But let's get back to that 1.6-liter 3-cylinder turbo under the hood. Well, it makes 300 horsepower, which is incredible to think that it makes 100 horsepower per cylinder. Now, of course, that is helped out by a turbocharger. That is quite the punch out of the tiny engine. Now, I don't really have many worries about this engine, not only because people have tuned them all the way up to 400 or 500 horsepower, and they seem to be doing okay, but Toyota does their research when it comes to engines. This block has been kind of around for a little while, and talking to some engineers, they say that it should be pretty good to go, and that brings me a lot of comfort. Like I said, paired to it is a 6-speed manual transmission. The GR Corolla only comes in a manual transmission, and this is the only Corolla to get a manual transmission here in 2024. As of the end of 2022, they no longer offer the manual on the standard Corollas. So if you want the manual, you gotta get into the GR. Last but not least, another cornerstone of the GR Corolla is that this does have all-wheel drive, and you can select that with a dial in the interior that we'll talk about in a second. Fuel economy, 22.2 average. I don't think this car has ever seen eco mode. I most certainly have never put it into eco mode, and I drive it like it's my last day on Earth. So 22 is acceptable in my opinion. How does it feel to drive the GR Corolla? Well, it feels like every morning, day, and night, I am in a boxing match. And I kind of like that, actually. It's very engaging. With big horsepower, big cylinder number cars, you kind of put your foot down and you go. This really genuinely feels like a conversation. Oh, do you want this gear? Oh, you want this? All right, let's do that. Let's try this. It's always changing, and you're always having fun because the boost builds at the top end of the power, so if you drive it real low, it's gonna feel like a mail truck. But if you really start banging gears, you can make it come alive, and it just feels very sentient. And I like that. I genuinely like that. Pause for a convertible PT Cruiser on some sweet wheels. Nice. Back to the GR Corolla. It does have a very planted ride. The suspension is GR tuned, and it will take whatever corner your ab muscles will be able to handle. I am the weakest link in the GR Corolla, and I don't mind being that because I'll never outdrive the car. The car will always have an answer for me, and that's how I feel in the GR Corolla. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have a completely digital gauge cluster. What I really like about this is that it does give you some customization, not a whole ton, but some. And when you put it into sport mode, the tachometer becomes horizontal, and I love the look of that, and it flashes when it's ready to shift. Really, really cool feeling there. On the steering wheel, on the left, we have our selectors for that gauge cluster screen, along with our volume and voice commands. And off to the right, we have our adaptive cruise control options, as well as mode and skip track. The overall steering wheel looks and feels nice. It has this blue stitching to match the rest of the interior, and I'm a big fan of that. And off to the left, we have a climate control vent, our gauge dimmer switch, automatic high beams, odometer and trip reset, heated steering wheel, heated windshield wipers, and the IMT button. This is for auto rev matching. On the door, we just have our power mirrors, power locks, and power windows. Very standard Toyota there. Moving into the center, we do have our infotainment display, wireless Apple CarPlay, and this is the standard Toyota system you'll find in pretty much all of their current model products, and I like it. I think it works well. And here's the backup camera in case you're curious. Not super high quality, but not terrible, and I don't mind it. Down below, we do have 2 climate control vents and the hazard switch, and then the climate controls. So no dual zone. Something I really would have liked to have seen would be dual zone. And the Civic Type R and Golf R Volkswagen both have dual zone climate at this price point and at this performance level. So that would have been nice, but that's okay. Moving down below, we do have our heated seat buttons in front of the wireless charger. Off to the right of that wireless charger, you do have a USB-C input as well. It's nice to see USB-C making their way into Toyotas. And then we come down to the center. So we have our drive mode select up at the top. We have Sport, Eco, Normal, and Custom, as well as we have our traction control off. And then we get the shifter. The shifter has this forged carbon fiber look to the top of it. Really, really like that. And it has the blue stripe matching the blue stitching going down the shift boot. The shifter feels really great, really notchy, exactly what I would expect out of a Toyota, and I love to see that. Then we have our power split switch. I don't know what the official name is, but basically this will divert power to the front and rear axles. So standard, it's a 60% to the front, 40% to the rear. You can then switch it to 30% in the front and 70% in the rear, or you can put it into track mode, which will be a 50-50 distribution. I love that they give you these options. It really feels like the old Subaru WRXs that used to do this, and so it's cool that Toyota included it. Down below, however, we do have cup holders, so we'll do a big friggin' bottle test, but like every other GR Corolla I've tried here on the channel, it unfortunately fails. Then we have a little tray, a USB-C charger, and a 12-volt outlet. However, as you'll notice, there is no center console. So on longer journeys, you don't have anywhere to rest your right arm, and that is very, very taxing. This seems like a huge oversight, and I would be interested to see if anyone ends up making a modification kit to then add a center console. I think they would make some good coin. The seats are suede with blue stitching. This is part of the Circuit Edition package, and I really, really like them. They say GR on the headrests. And being a big guy, sometimes aggressive seats don't really agree with me, and these do. So I'm very happy to see it, and I've been very comfortable the last 7 days. However, speaking of seats, we do have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. All right, so we're in the back of the 2024 Toyota GR Corolla Circuit Edition, and this is what we in the business like to call the no-go zone. It's not good. My knees are getting jammed into the seat in front of me, my back is very straight up, and my head is coming very close to the ceiling. Does this have back seats? Yes. Are these back seats better than the GR86? Yes. Would these be better for people smaller than me? Yes, of course, but they're not super comfortable and not super spacious. I do get a center console, 2 cup holders. I don't get any type of venting back here. Get an LED light, and that's about it. They're not good. Let's hop into the trunk and see if the theme continues. Spoiler alert, it does. All right, so we're on the back of the GR Corolla Circuit Edition. Pop the trunk up here. And there it is. So my big complaint with this is not the overall width, because I think it's the same width as like a Mazda 3 or a GTI or whatever. The issue is that the floor doesn't go down at all. And so that's as deep as it'll go. You say, Zach, oh, you could pull that up. You get a little bit of storage, but that's where the battery is. Because the battery is in here, it raises the whole floor of the trunk up, and so now not only will anything you put in here roll out if you're on any type of incline, there's barely any lip here, but also so many vehicles have a floor that goes down 4 inches maybe, and that adds so much space. Now anything tall is going to hit this privacy cover, and of course you can take the privacy cover out, and of course the second row of seats do go down, but still you're already starting off on the wrong foot when it comes to cargo space in the back of the GR. Now of course you're not buying this car to move cross country, you're not buying this car in lieu of a U-Haul or something like that. It's something to be expected, but it's just annoying because I feel like they could have changed it. Maybe if they left the battery up front, I don't know. But weight distribution, sportiness, all of that stuff kind of ruined the trunk space of the GR Corolla. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and like I said, this is finished in blue flame. And you can notice some of the Circuit Edition accents like the lightened wheels, the added air ducting in the front snout, and the actual genuine carbon fiber roof, which I think is such a cool accent piece. But let's do the walk around. I have really enjoyed the wide body look of the GR Corolla. I think it looks fantastic, and every morning I came outside and I got to start up the GR Corolla, I had a smile on my face. And parking it, I just always took pictures. I just always loved it. I think it's aggressive. I think it looks cool, and I don't think there's much more to say about it than that. However, with all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think, having driven the 2024 Toyota GR Corolla Circuit Edition for the last 7 days and well over 200 miles? Well, I've had a mostly good experience. Let me get my grievances out of the way. No center armrest is insane, and driving on the highway, you don't have anywhere to put your right arm. It just kind of floats there and dangles, and it's no good. The trunk space and rear seat space is not good either, but I can't hate on the GR Corolla specifically because the regular Corolla has the same dimensions. So it's unfortunate for all Corollas, not just the GR. And lastly, something that really bothered me is my settings don't get saved when I press buttons. So every time I got in the car, I would have to turn the diff to track mode, I would have to put it up into sport mode, and the worst of all was I would have to turn on the auto rev matching every single time I started the car. This should be on by default, for sure, because there were several times where I would start to downshift and expect it to rev up, and it wasn't. And so just in terms of being nice to the clutch and being nice to the car, I think this should be on by default, and the people that want to turn it off can turn it off. That's just my own personal opinion. What do I know? Let's get to the question that's on everyone's mind. Is the Circuit Edition worth extra money over the GR Corolla Premium or the GR Corolla Core? So there's 3 trim levels of the GR Corolla. The Core is at the very bottom, then there's the Premium in the middle, and then there's the Circuit Edition up at the top. This is the top trim level of the GR Corolla for 2024. Is this worth the extra money? Yes. In my opinion, yes it is. I loved the carbon fiber roof, the added air ducting, the nicer interior is a huge benefit over the regular GR Corolla. I think this is just a nicer place to be. Nicer materials. Is it $1 million nicer? No. Is this suddenly a Rolls Royce? No. But it's just a little bit nicer to be than the regular Core. But this isn't consumer advice. A lot of review channels, most review channels will say, oh, do you get your money's worth here? Do you get your money's worth there? Well, actually, if you break it down, this is smarter than that, and that's smarter than this. And if you go with this trim, with this package, it'll be smarter financially. I don't care. The GR Corolla Circuit Edition made me feel cool. Opening the door and seeing that Circuit Edition limited edition badge made me feel cool. Seeing another GR Corolla in town and noticing that they don't have the carbon fiber roof, that they have the heavier wheels and they might not have the LSDs, that makes me feel cool. And so I would pay the extra money just to feel cool. It doesn't always have to be a cost-benefit analysis. Sometimes you just have to operate and buy a car based on what you feel. And this car makes me feel. This car makes me happy. This car makes me jump with joy, and every corner became the apex on the Nürburgring, and every single drive became the race of my life. So yeah, I'm going to spend the extra money. I'm going to buy the extra packages that make me feel that way. Am I getting 100% of my money's worth? Maybe not, but that's okay. I don't care. If you really truly want your money's worth, buy a GR Corolla Core and then get the performance package, which will add the limited slip diffs. You can always add lighter wheels. The carbon fiber roof saves weight, sure, and gives you a lower center of gravity, but at the same time, it's grams at that point. My official buying advice would say buy a GR Corolla Core with the performance package and save yourself a couple $1,000s. But my heart says go Circuit all the way. And that's what I plan on doing here today. I love this car. I love this car more than I thought, and more than the previous GR Corollas that I've driven. I don't know why. I can't explain it, but I would pay any amount of money to have this feeling every single day of my life. And so Toyota, did a very good job. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Toyota for sending me this GR Corolla to drive for the last 7 days. I always look forward to working with Toyota. Kurt is one of the best in the industry. Huge thank you to him. Huge thank you to Drive Shop for facilitating the cleaning and delivery of this vehicle. And of course, the Midwestern Automotive Media Association. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.